off. You are buying everything he's selling, yes?
I'm just so happy to see somebody not take the humble, I'm not going to say it, I'm going to be politically correct. He put it on the table. I think I should be leading. Tell me why I shouldn't. 7'5" guard said that, and I love
it. Case closed.
Well, here's my counter. And shout out to our researcher, Drew, but I was rushing from the makeup room and I left my notes. However, when you look at net rating when it comes to defense, Shea and Wemby are not that far apart in those two, right? When you look at the overall defensive rating, there's a little bit more of a gap there. But it's not as if Shea is not in the conversation as one of the best defenders in the league, right? Different position, different style, but still impacting that side of the basketball. I think his best piece in that argument probably was the OKC sweep, but also that is still the regular season, and that's not going to be the hill that I would die on in that particular conversation. But he's making very valid points, but I do not think that defense is being overlooked in this conversation because Shea is a great defender.
I think defense is overlooked in this league. I want to make sure that we go back to Shump's point. I'm so damn tired of all these humble superstars in the NBA acting as if the MVP doesn't matter. Oh, I'd rather go play with my horses and everything else. No. Stand on it, call it, say exactly what it is. These dudes are hyper competitive. They want to win MVP. Victor already shamed the NBA stars into playing in the All-Star game, right? And now he's forcing dudes to go and stand on it. I tell you this now, you better get your MVPs now.
Yeah.
Get them now. Get your MVPs, get your rings now, because it's over. In a few years, or maybe in a couple years, or maybe next year, or maybe in June, this thing is going to belong to him. Okay?
Well, that's on you and your voters because we often see voting fatigue in the storylines when it comes to MVP.
I ain't vote for Karl Malone. That wasn't me.
I'm just saying.
And I'm not sure how you get tired of Victor Wembanyama, but go ahead, Shump. What were you going to say? The point is, I know, it's funny. What he said was funny. I agree with you. What were you going to say?
I love that Victor is now making it a standard to have to play the whole game. You got to be able to pass the ball. You got to be able to triple threat. You got to be able to shoot it. Can you get blocks and steals and keep everything live? There's no more blocking the shot and throwing it to the stands. No. Can you block it, throw it off the glass, and start the break? Can you do that? If you can't do that, you don't look so good at 7 feet anymore. And I love that he's doing that because I think it's not going to do anything but inspire the players around him to say, hey, you're not the only one that can play defense. And the first person I'm going to play defense on after he said that, first person I want to see is Victor. I will pick him up full court.
You know what's
Would you really? Would you really?
You damn so. Hey, listen, you know y'all know I ain't got it all up here now. I don't got it all. I'll step up and do it.
Here's the thing about Victor Wembanyama. Okay, first of all, the physical skills are obviously beyond anything that we've ever seen before. To some degree, he was born with that. Obviously, his hard work has led him there. But the attitude, the mentality you're talking about, the old school mindset that he's bringing to all of this is, I will say it out loud, the best thing that has happened to the NBA in recent memory. The best thing that has happened to the NBA in recent memory is that Victor Wembanyama thinks the way he thinks.
Yeah. The petty in the statements that he said, I should be MVP. He took a shot at Oklahoma City, right? He said, we beat them, which means I'm taking a shot at you, Shea.
Clear the story.
He also said, the game is half defense, half offense. I'm talking to you, Nikola Jokic, which means you can't just dominate on one end of the floor.
There you go.
And he's also telling everybody, I'm the guy. Come at me.
Yeah.
Who's coming at him? And think about it like this. This is the last point, guys. Usually the MVP is the best offensive player. You could not make the case, maybe in the standard of Hakeem Olajuwon.
Which star would you most want to have on your team right now? Shump, I'll go to you. Wemby, SGA, or Luka?
Give me Wemby. When you start talking about starting a team, putting a team together, the guy can do everything. We used to do it with Kevin Durant and say he is a creative player. Well, Wemby is the new version of a creative player. Give me Wemby.
Okay, so one Victor Wembanyama. Stephen A., who would you want to take? Wemby, SGA, or Luka right now?
I'm gonna say my man Shea Butter, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Regardless of how much I raved about Wemby and what he means to the game, and I love him and the whole bit. The reason why I say Shea is because Shea's having the ball in his hands 94 feet. 90% of the time, everything's going through him. So he's in a position to dictate and determine an outcome almost as effectively as Wembanyama in his own way. And so that's how I think about it. Guard play, ultimately, it comes down to that in a lot more situations than we want to admit. You having the basketball in your hands, you determining who gets it, who keeps it, who's going to shoot, etc. All of those things, Shump knows this better than me. It's incredibly important. And I just think that when you see how efficient Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been as the reigning champion, league MVP, NBA Finals MVP, coming back this year, ain't miss a beat. To me, as the playoffs approach, the name that comes to my mind is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
We've done a flip. The first block, you were over here talking about SGA. He's talking about Wembanyama for the MVP, and now we would swap and take each other. Okay. Windy, who would you take right now?
To Stephen A., with all due respect to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, with all due respect to the producers of this show who feel this was a debate topic, this is no debate. This is open and shut, Victor Wembanyama. Open and shut.
Thank you.
Plays both ends of the court, is the tallest player in the league. By the way, Stephen A. will and can have the ball in his hand, maybe not for 94 feet. By the way, he thinks he can do it for 94 feet, probably shouldn't. Secondly, he makes $13 million. This is a league that is essentially hard capped right now. Your salary value is everything, and I got no problem with the salaries.
We want to talk about the money.
Well, how? What are you talking about? Which star do you want? This is part of the conversation.
No, we were just talking about their abilities. We weren't taking finances into the equation.
We are high-level professionals, and we also.
Okay.
We are high-level professionals. We can talk about the entire conversation. So he's going to make less money than these guys for the next 5 years and this year. That matters, what you can build around him. So that's why I say I don't even think it's a debate.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying to you is that you bring up the business portion of it. You're right. I mean, who the hell don't know that? If I can get Wembanyama for $13 million, but I got to pay Shai $70, of course I would go with Wemby. I was just talking about on the basketball court. And oh, by the way, I love my man Wemby.
Doesn't say that.
I love my man Wendy, or rather, Shump. I love my man Wendy. But Shump, just in case you don't know about me when it comes to first take, I don't give a damn who agrees or disagrees with me.
Oh, no, I know. I didn't come here for that.
I'm talking about Wendy. It ain't going to change my opinion. Here's the deal. I love my man Wendy, but here's the deal. Wembanyama is the real deal. He's special. He's every bit as special as Wendy told me he was going to be. Because, see, Wendy was over there in France watching him. We were stuck here in the States, Chomp. We didn't go over there. Wendy was chilling in Paris. He was chilling in Paris watching Wemby, okay, before any of us. So he knew, okay, I got it. But you know something? You can act like the debate ain't close all you want to. The reigning, defending NBA champion, NBA Finals MVP, all right, and league MVP has rolled out this year, averaging 30, as in 31, on 55% shooting. And oh, by the way, they in first place. I'm just saying, we can sit up there and talk about Wemby and keep talking about him. And I have no doubt that he's gonna wreak havoc. I'm predicting Shai gonna wreak havoc too. I believe in that brother.
I do.
I believe in him.
Well,
and I'm telling you right now, it ain't gonna be this cut and dry thing that you saying. The brother is 6'7", 6'8", with the ball in his hands 95% of the time. Ignore that if you want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote for him for MVP probably.
Yeah, he's going to be the MVP, but we want to start a team. You say, which star would you want? If I had to start a team right now?
It says which star do you
want
right now.
Give me that young boy that just got facial hair.
Which star do you want right now? That's all it says.
Give me the young guy that just got his facial hair.
But y'all say, but I'm not asking about,
figuring out being able to balance.
Okay, but I'm not talking about starting a team. When they ask the question, which star do you want right now? I'm thinking April. Coming May, the players about to begin a month from now, and I'm saying to you, Shea Butter is gonna have something to say because he gonna still give you 30.
I love it.
He gonna still give you 30.
I love it.
There's only 2 votes as a voter. There's only 2 votes that I've already penned in, not penciled in. They're penned in. I got Mitch Johnson. He's my coach of the year.
Okay.
And Victor Wembanyama is my defensive player of the year.
Okay.
When it comes to this MVP race, I know you said they had a certain amount of games to qualify. They better play all these games because it's going to come down to the last game when it comes to me deciding who I'm going to pick to win the MVP. Right now at number 1, I have SGA. But on his behind like back pockets is Wemby. What he said and what he's doing, and if the Spurs catch OKC for the number 1 seed in the West, Tim, Victor Wembanyama is definitely getting my vote for MVP.
Well, and it wouldn't just be number 1 seed in the West. It's the top overall seed. And that's when Wemby said he wants to make sure there's no debate, there's no doubt That is the one way that there can be no doubt. If the Spurs are the #1 seed, I don't see how you could put somebody else at the top of your MVP ballot.
As good as Luka has been, I do think it's a two-man race. I think that's one thing. I think the voters will look for a reason to try to vote for Wemby because I think the data probably favors Shea. But Jeremy, if Wemby gets to #1, it's going to be very, very compelling for the voters.
I agree. I still think, I can only speak from a non-voter perspective, but I totally think that if they are tied or if they're tied, essentially, Wemby will have the #1 seed in the Spurs, and I would vote for him. I just think it's what he's doing. His defensive impact is so much greater than Shea's.
Well, but are you evaluating, essentially what you have to say is that Wemby's defense is 2 times better than Shea's offense?
No, but let me point this out to y'all, okay? Because I did Google, I was on my phone a little bit. Now, SGA is ranked 3rd among guards in defensive rating. So he's no slouch on the other end. So when Wemby put it out there that 50% is the other end, and when SGA is putting up second in the league in scoring, shooting over 55% from the field, he's still defending.
So historically as a voter, one thing I've tried to do when I've had a difficult time deciding between two people, I look at whose load is bigger night to night. Who is asked to do more things? Shea is asked to do a lot of things for that team, specifically offensively. Victor, even though he brings the ball up a lot, he is sort of the guy who finishes plays.
Tim, let me ask you this.
And props up an entire defense and guards 5 guys at one time. As Draymond Green told you, getting back to math, and Wemby said it, defense is half the game.
Let me ask y'all a question, though. Shouldn't the story matters? Right? The story.
It does matter.
Because let's be real. We expected OKC to be in this position. No one on this panel.
Also, the story from leaving last season with a blood clot, not being able to finish, coming back against Oklahoma City, all of that does matter to an extent. But essentially, the MVP is decided between the lines. The story's a bonus.
The one thing I'll say about Shea, if they've got the top record in the league, when they've had some of the most injuries, his All-NBA sidekick has missed the majority of the season. That's pretty damn impressive.
But this wasn't expected. No one on here could say with a straight face that we had that coming into the season that we thought the San Antonio Spurs will be sitting #2, knocking at the door of having the best record